shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, living your best. Racks up. Oh, keep walking with confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Y'all black females out here, y'all don't understand the struggles of being a black man out here in America and not knowing whether or not you gonna make it home to your children every night because of the police gunning you down.
But don't y'all be out here gunning each other now?
Okay, but we ain't talking about that.
Hell, don't y'all be rapping about killing each other in music?
We ain't talking about that either. We can talk about killing each other in rap music, but we don't like the police killing us. Stay on subject, woman.
You brought up your kids. Tyrone, you don't even see your kids.
And then, yeah, I be trying to see my kids. You know my baby mamas be tripping because I don't want to be with none of them, so they be holding my kids from me. You know that.
Okay, but your baby mama saying you don't give them no child support either.
Okay, but I still be going out my way to try to see them.
They live 5 minutes from my house, Tyrone.
That is out my way, woman. See, y'all, that's why we don't like y'all black women's mouths. Y'all run y'all mouth too much. Y'all always bringing up stuff that's irrelevant.
Well, was you cheating on me irrelevant?
I only cheated on you 10 times. You act like I do it every day, bruh. See, that's why we date women of other races, man.
Hey, boos, hey. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are y'all doing? And like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you enjoy listening to my content on the go, the show is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio listeners. Go check out my Patreon community where you can get access to bonus episodes and exclusive content and also a private community of like-minded divested women. It is linked below. Please also follow me on social media platforms. You can check me out everywhere on all platforms at Lexus Exodus. You can find all of this information in the description below. Oh my gosh. So first off, I have to say, you guys are so freaking supportive and dope. So last week, I discussed on our Phoenix show where I talked about Black women who rose from the ashes, from dire circumstances to make incredible accomplishments. We talked about how a woman in particular went from being unemployed and broke and divorced to starting multiple six-figure earning businesses over just the duration of a few years. And one of them being a monthly journal subscription service that I use called Journal Noire. And I didn't expect anything from it. I was just showing love to her along with the other women that were featured on that show because I genuinely enjoy her products and use them every day. Yo, why did she reach out to me after that show to thank me? Because apparently after that show, you guys have shown her an overwhelming amount of support. And she got inundated with traffic to her website and orders on her business page and a bunch of her stuff. Y'all purchased a bunch of her products. And she said she had no idea where the traffic was coming from until y'all told her via email and on her website saying y'all heard about her through Lexus Exodus. So she personally reached out to me to thank me. And I was just so shocked, y'all. I know y'all are dope. I know that this community is such a dope group of women. You guys are so supportive. And I know we talk about Black women empowerment. But it was nice to see that you guys don't just talk to talk. Y'all believe in BWE for real and really believe in supporting other Black women. And I think that's so incredible that you guys did that. So she also asked about collaborating in the future and doing some giveaways and promos and things like that, like promo codes exclusively for Lexus Exodus subbies in the future and partnering on some other things. So I'm with it. Y'all know I love her products. I support her business wholeheartedly. I am so happy to hear that you guys supported her in such a fantastic way. So be on the lookout for some exciting things coming down the pipeline. But you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for supporting that sister in that manner. I'm so thankful for you guys. And she was as well. She asked that I personally express thanks to you guys. Okay, so let's get to it. So let's start with an Ask Lex message. And if you guys have any questions or if you want my thoughts or feedback on any issues that you're experiencing, feel free to call the Ask Lex hotline at 313-315-2776. Let's listen.
Hi, Lexi. My name is But if you bring my question up on one of your videos, could you please say like Vanessa, because I'm well known in my neighborhood. But I have a question about how to deal with a Hispanic Becky. In my neighborhood, I live in Los Angeles, and I'm an older chick. I'm 50 years old, but I look like I'm 35. I'm married, been married for 27 years. I mind my business, but I have been having problems with the Hispanic women, my neighbors that live here. They do it all kind of antics to bother me. I ignore them, but it's just a daily thing. And one particular neighbor, and I'm not trying to be mean, but she's shaped like SpongeBob. Her daughter is shaped like SpongeBob. She'll do anything to get a rouse out of me. And and a few times the mailman has accidentally given her my mail and she's thrown it out in the street. I've complained about that. I'm basically I'm tired. And how can I make myself not be so bothered and triggered, because I can turn hood on this heifer. But if I do, I know the police will be called and then I'll be labeled an angry black woman. And this is just an everyday thing when now I'm starting to believe I'm being stopped, because like when I go to my car to leave, looking out her window, and it's like, why is she watching me so much? And I just wanted to know, what can I do? Because I feel like it's affected my health. Now I'm on blood pressure medication because I'm always upset. All right. Thank you so much, and continue to do what you're doing. I love your videos and your commentary. All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, Vanessa. Not SpongeBob Flat Booty Becky, girl. So Vanessa is asking about how to respond to Hispanic Beckys who keep antagonizing her and picking with her in her neighborhood. She talked about how they've been throwing her mail in the street. She believes that they are stalking her every time she leaves. They're watching her and just harassing her, being petty. And she also talks about how it's bothering her to the point that she's on blood pressure medication. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, Vanessa, I hate having bad neighbors. And I personally believe that the only thing that's worse than having a bad spouse is having bad neighbors. And hear me out, because it's like, even when you can't stand your relatives and your family members, you have the option of just establishing distance and not communicating with them and seeing them. When you're at odds with your neighbors, you got to see them every day because they live right next to where you live. So I feel for you, sis. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing that. I remember having an old ass Karen neighbor that was awful. And she was the same way, just nitpicking with me. She would literally call the police just because I parked too close to her driveway, as opposed to just simply knocking on the door and saying, hey, can you move your car? She would call the police on me. But anyway, thankfully, our current neighbors are great. My husband is a people person, so we are like family. And I love our neighbors, but I remember all too well how it is to have terrible ones. So here's my advice. So if this is pushing you to the point where you're on meds, sis, this is completely out of hand. It sounds like they're just envious, especially if you're saying that you're 50 and can pass for 30 and you always get compliments about your beauty and how appealing you are. It sounds like they're just hating to me. And if I were you, I would just continue to ignore them like you said you have been doing, because people like this get their rocks off by you dignifying their responses and by them knowing that they're getting under your skin. So I wouldn't even dignify this nonsense with a response. I'd even take it a step further. I'd be nice personally. I love that nice, nasty, bullish. I would smile, wave, kill them with kindness if that's an option, and then go on about your business, because that'll really mind F them. They'll be sitting there looking like, why is she being so nice to me? I'm a bitch to her. Why is she being so kind? I would do that if that's an option. It does, though, sound like what they're doing may be classified as something illegal and maybe crossing boundaries that have legal implications. If they're throwing your mail in the street and stupid-ish like that, you were kind of vague in your message to me. But if they are doing things like that, I can't imagine what else they're doing. If I were you, I'd document. I'd make notes of all these interactions and of how contentious they are. I'd also get a Ring camera, sis. Like, get a Ring camera. That's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, we're able to monitor our surroundings even when we're not home. You can just download an app and take a look at who's like on your doorstep and who's in your front yard or whatever. Even like the mailman, things like that. And you can catch them red-handed if you do this, especially if they're doing things like trespassing or messing with your property or mail or something else that they shouldn't be doing. Then you'll have that Ring camera and have that surveillance evidence to pursue this legally if you need to. You also mentioned how you've been married for 25 years. I'm curious what your husband thinks of all this. Like, does he have issues with them as well? Are they kind to him? Are they respectful to him? Also, if these women are married, if these Hispanic Beckys are married, it sounds like your husband needs to go ahead and hit his ass over to their house to have a man-to-man conversation with their husbands to check this behavior, because this is out of control. The fact that you are experiencing high cortisol levels and now have a potentially life-threatening illness over their nonsense, he needs to intervene and needs to talk to their husbands to nip this in the bud, because this is crazy. So that's my thoughts, sis. Again, I'm so sorry that you are going through this. I feel for you having bad neighbors and walking on eggshells at your home, which is supposed to be your safe space and your refuge, is awful. So I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and I do hope that things get better for you, sis. I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. What suggestions do you guys have for Vanessa, who's experienced harassment by her Becky Hispanic neighbors? Chime in down below and in the comments. Okay, let's get to it. This is another installment of my series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the dusty derelicts, crazy creatures, and animals in Blackistan. Tonight, I want to talk about negging, y'all. And I want to discuss this idea of negging and how this is a concept being promoted by deceitful, disgusting, conniving, low vibrational nignogs who do this type of stuff in order to manipulate women who are better than them and who are out of their leagues to negatively impact their self-esteem so that you'll be more inclined to be interested and to date them. Okay. And if you've never heard of negging, negging is defined as a popular practice of men intentionally giving backhanded compliments and generally making comments that express indifference toward a woman in an attempt to seduce that woman. Okay. So that sounds kind of far-fetched and out there, right? Like, it sounds pretty unbelievable, right? Well, you're wrong. So dusties are so devious. They are so trifling and pathetic. They are so low level that they are actually encouraging this idea and teaching one another the art of negging to knock women down a peg so that you resort to dating them. So examples of negging would be like a guy saying, oh, congrats on earning 6 figures. I'm surprised that little hair business can make that much money. Or, oh, you lost 100 pounds. Too bad now you have stretch marks and all that loose skin. Or congrats on your PhD. Too bad most men won't even be interested in you anymore because you're too independent. You're too successful. You don't need a man. You get what I'm saying? Another one that's very, very common, especially in Blackistan, is, oh, you're beautiful for a big girl, or, oh, you're cute for a dark-skinned girl. Things like that. You see what I mean? So on the surface level, it may seem like genuine praise and compliments, but in reality, they are insulting you. It's a backhanded compliment, and they are saying something negative to you in order to knock you down a peg. And they want to do this to negatively impact your self-esteem and undermine your accomplishments and undermine your esteem so that you feel like you have limited options and decide to date them. Okay, so now that we know what negging is and what that looks like, let's look at some prime examples of this. And I wanted to do this show because I've seen tons of them go viral recently of dusty nignogs negging their significant others and their spouses and fiancés online and guising it as a genuine compliment. So let's look at this first post that really illustrates what I'm talking about that's gone viral, of this guy sharing a quote-unquote love letter that consists of him negging his fiance online. Child. So, okay. So here we see the Dusty and his beautiful fiance. She's gorgeous, melanin popping. And this is what he writes to her. You're not the most beautiful woman. Neither are you the most intelligent woman. But like I've chosen to never find perfection in anyone else. I put my gaze on you. And with that commitment, we would mold ourselves for ourselves. Our perfection is in our commitment. Stating that you're not the most beautiful or intelligent might sound like it's not a compliment, yeah, but it's a realistic base for real love. Acknowledging that my woman isn't the best, but I'm not looking for the best. I was looking for you and I found you. There is no best. There's just someone you choose and see the best in them. This to me is a real love. Not the one that consoles itself in the full reality that their partner is the most good looking, most intelligent, most successful person in the world. I'm sorry. I can't even get through this nonsense. This is so ridiculous. Okay, so he says that's disingenuous and doesn't give room for love to thrive. I love you. I'm committed to you. I miss you so much, but my love for you is stronger than distance. Ciao. Really, y'all? Really, y'all, this is textbook negging. So he says, you are not the most beautiful woman. You're not the smartest. You ain't the most successful. You ain't the best woman ever. He might as well just said you average at best. But I still love you. I'm still committed to your imperfect ass. Your average looking ass. Your average intellect having ass. What type of is this, y'all? Really? Really? And here's the thing. He may have really thought he ate on this. He may not have been negging. He may have really been genuine with posting this. And that's the craziest part about all these posts that we're going to talk about tonight. Dusties are so damn dense and vapid. These dumb, dusty ass, imbecile ass nignogs really wrote and reread these captions before posting and then published them and really probably thought that these were mic drop moments. Like, what a effing idiot. But yeah, this is supposed to be a love letter to his partner. And he's talking about you're not the prettiest or the smartest, but I love your mediocre ass, average at best ass. This dude is a life coach, y'all. So he's one of these dusty life coaches that give problematic dating advice. So I honestly think that this is a prime example of him intentionally negging this woman. So him giving her backhanded compliments like this in order to knock her down a peg and mess with her confidence. You know, he's a public figure with a visible platform. So he done humiliated this woman. He done embarrassed this woman because this done went viral. And this is supposed to be the dude that she's supposed to be marrying out here embarrassing her ass. This is a type of negging behavior you want to be on the lookout for. This is unacceptable. This is not okay. Same with this next Dusty. So he posts a picture with his beautiful wife with the caption, she ain't the prettiest, but she's loyal. Okay. So his fat, funky Rick Ross looking ass posts a photo with this gorgeous woman, absolutely beautiful, stunning. She has a beautiful smile, beautiful locks, gorgeous skin. And he captions it, she ain't the prettiest, but she's loyal. And what breaks my heart is that all of the women in the stories that we're discussing tonight are phenotypically Black women like this one. So we'll see a recurrent theme here. These women in all of the examples are all darker skin, fully melanated, kinky textured, natural hair, beautiful women getting degraded and humiliated on public platforms like this, getting negged like this. This is a type of treatment, though, that y'all are out here signing up for. This is the bullshit I'm talking about, though, that you guys need to look out for. This is that negging behavior. He is below average looking, probably makes a below average income, has a higher than average BMI. And here he's talking about this woman ain't the prettiest, but at least she's loyal. Do you see what I mean? This is textbook negging. This is textbook negging manipulative behavior. He knows that she is very likely out of his league, but he talks to her like this and negs her like this and humiliates her like this on this global platform. This is went viral with these backhanded compliments to chip away at her esteem. Okay. We do not tolerate language like this. Okay. So let's discuss this last couple who went viral over similar circumstances of him negging her after the Dusty post online, how he was able to wipe this woman up after taking her on a first date at the Popeyes chicken parking lot, y'all. Child. Okay, so here is this beautiful woman and her dusty husband, and the caption says, "We met on Hinge. The rest is history. No pressure to take her on any fancy dates or to expensive restaurants. Just good old conversation in alignment with our goals." So that's bad enough, right? Let's look at the story behind their union. I can't with this mess. This is a whole hot ass mess. I'm just gonna warn y'all, it gets worse. So the article says, bride who had a Popeyes parking lot first date before groom proposed with ring, bought by friend triggers Twitter critics. Okay. So they had their first date in a Popeyes parking lot, and he proposed to her shortly after with the ring bought by someone else. Okay. So let's read the article because this is a hot ass mess. Let's get the tea, y'all. Okay, so it said bride who had a Popeyes parking lot first date before groom proposed with ring bought by friend triggers Twitter critics. Okay. So it says a couple's wedding announcement was supposed to attract congratulations online. Instead, it went viral due to an overpour of criticism about their first date at a Popeyes parking lot. Boston spouses Stevenson Boyce, 44, and Sharia Wade, 34. So the nignog is 10 years older than her, yet he taking her to a damn Popeyes parking lot date and couldn't even afford a ring, y'all. Child. They met on the dating app Hinge before getting married. According to the article, Stevenson canceled their first date twice before the pair finally met in a Popeyes parking lot. Sharia added that the line for Popeyes was so long that Stevenson eventually purchased himself a meal from the KFC across the street. The two continued dating as Stevenson let go of 5 other women who he also dated, eventually making Wade his girlfriend. Oh my God, she won the prize. The nigga who can only afford a 2-piece on a first date. Months later, during a trip to Barbados, Stevenson admitted he proposed to Sharia with a ring purchased by his close friend and colleague. The couple got married on July 23rd, and after sharing the announcement publicly went viral due to their unorthodox love story, due to their ghetto-ass love story. This ain't unorthodox, it's ghetto and trifling. Okay, so someone wrote, their first date was not at Popeyes, which would certainly have been one thing, but in the parking lot of a Popeyes after he canceled on her twice. He was a divorcee of 10 years, her senior, dating 6 women. His coworker bought the ring, and she is a VP at a multi-billion-dollar company. Child, see, I can't. We about to get into it. We about to unpack because this is too much. Someone said she never wanted to be married, but went on a Hinge date in a Popeyes parking lot at the beginning of the pandemic, kissed a stranger who was seeing 6 other women in a pandemic, moved him in a pandemic after 6 months, and accepted a ring he didn't buy. But we the fools. Child, I cannot. This woman said publishing the Popeyes parking lot engagement story was meant to humble Black women and make them think it's acceptable to settle for mediocre treatment. Child, y'all, we gonna get into it. Just wait. Okay, this next commenter said 34 and a VP of a company, but let a 44-year-old man convince you to sit in the parking lot of Popeyes to eat KFC as a first date. Child. So this is a mess. But this is what I mean about this idea of negging. Y'all, so she is a VP at a multi-billion-dollar company and went on a date with this broke-ass nigga who was seeing 6 other women at the time in the Popeyes parking lot, y'all. He proposed with a damn ring purchased by somebody else. And she done up and married this nigga. Y'all, I hate this for us. Why we gotta be so damn desperate? We are down bad. We down bad. And again, this is another beautiful, phenotypically Black, darker, kinkier hair textured Black woman, curvy, beautiful, voluptuous Black woman, settling for this BS. Like that user said, this story is being promoted to humble Black women. This is a prime example of negging. This woman is clearly out of his league. She is educated. She is successful. She's absolutely beautiful. She's never been married, no kids. And here she is accepting eating fried chicken wings in the parking lot of Popeyes by a damn hit the wall ass, old ass nigga who too broke to even afford a fucking ring. Y'all. And he's sitting here glorifying this like, oh, she didn't require much from me. Like she's just some honorable woman as opposed to being someone who was extremely out of his league. And this is what I mean by publicly negging Black women to knock us down a peg. talking about no pressure to court her like she deserved. Just alignment on goes. Okay. Even though she's a VP at a damn Fortune 500 company, probably clearing $300,000, $400,000 a year. Yeah, she let me get away with giving her a 2-piece and a biscuit on the first damn day. Yo, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is why I truly believe, like other women have said, that he was not genuinely posting this to boast about her. This was posted to get Black women to humble themselves. It don't matter if you got your little degree. It don't matter if you make 6 figures multiple times over at your little job. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect package. You're an honorable woman, a loving, doting woman who will be a wonderful wife and mother. You should be willing to accept whatever dusty knick-knock, whatever crumbs he throw your way. Even if that means you number 7 on his dating roster. Even if that means he gonna propose with a ring that someone else purchased. Y'all, they do this ish to impact your self-esteem, y'all. And to gaslight you into thinking you crazy for having standards. This is not okay, y'all. This is unacceptable. This is humiliating. This is absolutely embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for her. I'm literally experiencing like real life secondhand embarrassment for sis. This is that negging ish I be talking about. Them doing things like this intentionally to negatively impact Black women's self-esteem and your self-confidence. So you settle for whatever little crumbs they throw your way. He's posting this under the guise of him celebrating her for being a good woman, but in all actuality, he is negging her and is publicly humiliating her because this just illustrates her desperation and her lack of standards. Because who the hell gonna be making that much money, that successful financially, professionally, emotionally, gonna settle for somebody who is somebody's sloppy seconds, who is a divorcee, and who is 10 years their senior but can't even afford her damn ring? But Black women will accept being humiliated and embarrassed like this because anything for a man, right? Anything for a man. This don't make no damn sense. So getting married to someone clearly unequally yoked and going viral and being humiliated like this is cool as long as you can say you married, right, sis? Child, and side note before we keep going, this is not going to end well. Just in case you didn't notice, this is not going to end well. Because everybody else will see red flags and Black women will see fucking 6 flags in this bit when it comes to these dusty ass knick-knocks. I wish the best for sis, but I done seen this happen too many times before. When you date down like this, it does not end well. We talking about side chicks, potential side babies, alimony, child support, and all other types of ratchet shit involved in situations like this typically. Child. But anyway, this is that negging-ish that y'all need to look out for. Those backhanded compliments, downplaying your beauty, your intellect, your accomplishments, and your success so that you so damn desperate, you settling for bullish like this, y'all. Child, be leery, be vigilant. All right. That's all I got. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
I don't give a fuck. Even if you think I should, bitch, nigga, I don't give
Fellas, if y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.